音楽コンセプト.
Hey guys, this week I'm going to teach you a really simple chord progression. The 6, flat 6 augmented, 1 second inversion, sharp 4 half diminished progression. Now, hear me out. This is really simple and it's really cool. Let me show you what it sounds like. Here's Fuyu no Hi, which means winter days, from the anime K-On. The names of the chords might be a little bit complicated, but the progression itself is based on a really simple idea. So in the key of A, this chord progression would be F sharp minor, F augmented, A over E, and D sharp minor 7 flat 5, or D sharp half diminished. Again, complicated chord names, really simple. Let's take a look at this. F sharp minor is made up of 3 notes, okay? F sharp, A, and C sharp. Now, in this chord progression, what we're really doing is taking this F sharp minor chord and leaving the A and C sharp in and bringing the bass note down a semitone with each chord change. So to get from F sharp minor to F augmented, all we do is take this F sharp minor chord and bring the F sharp down to F. An augmented chord is just a major chord with the 5th raised a semitone. So if F major is F A C, then F augmented would be F A C sharp. They're not that common, but you'll find them in places. Next, we move this F down another semitone to E, and we have E A C sharp, and this is an A major chord in second inversion. I'll explain inversions in depth in another video, but what second inversion means is that the 5th of the chord is in the bass. So in the case of A major, the 5th of the chord is E, and we have E in the bass. And just for shorthand, we would call this A over E. Lastly, we bring this E down another semitone to D sharp, and we're left with D sharp, A, C sharp, which is a D sharp half diminished chord, or a D sharp minor 7 flat 5. Now the 3rd of the chord, the note that makes it minor, is not always present the way some people play this chord. Just playing it with these 3 notes like this, you're leaving out the 3rd, but from the context we can infer that it's a half diminished chord. So to sum it up, you take your F sharp minor chord, you leave the 2 notes on top, and you just bring the bass note down a semitone with each chord change. This progression works on a really simple concept called pedal tones. Pedal tones are notes that you just leave constant throughout chord changes. So in this chord progression, A and C sharp are 2 pedal tones, and they're just left constant throughout the chord progression. Pedal tones are really good for anchoring your progressions together. Even if you've got a bunch of out-of-key notes, if you've got some pedal tones in there, they can serve as kind of a glue to hold your progression together. This is also a really common chord progression. You might have heard it in the ending theme from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Genesis. Fudepen from K-On is another song that uses this progression. In this case, it's in the key of E major, so the progression is C sharp minor, C augmented, E over B, A sharp minor 7 flat 5, or in this case, it's F sharp 7, and I'm not going to explain how that works. All you need to know is that A sharp minor 7 flat 5 and F sharp 7 are practically the same chord. This is a really common chord progression. I mean, even the Beatles used it. Actually, I think the Beatles are the ones who brought this progression to popularity. Now, as to where you would use this progression, I think it sounds best when used to kind of wrap up a section. So I would use it to lead into a new section. The sharp 4 minor 7 flat 5 at the end of the progression sounds really good leading into a 4 chord or a 2 chord. And from here, you can go on into a cadence, which I've explained those in another video, and I'll link it. It should be somewhere around here. So, great chord progression. It seems really complicated, but it's really simple when you realize that it's all based on these 2 pedal tones. So have fun with that. Tell me if there's any songs that you've heard that you might have heard this progression in. I'll see you guys next week, and Merry Christmas! This week's album of the week is the K-On! Original Soundtrack, entirely composed and produced by Hajime Hyakoku. He's one of my favorite composers and one of my main influences. It's definitely worth a listen, especially if you're a bit further along with music theory and you want some more complicated stuff to study. This soundtrack is definitely for you. If you've got any questions, you can comment below or tweet me at Ongaku Concept, and I'll see you guys next week.